This is from Shanaka 86.
Shanaka.
Breaking. The silent kill switch inside your Bitcoin ETF. They told you it was safe. They told you it was secure. They never told you about the clause that lets them unplug the protocol. This is not a market prediction. This is a structural revelation. The veto. The SE filings are clear. BlackRock, Fidelity, and other ETF sponsors hold good faith discretion to decide which Bitcoin chain is the valid one in the event of a fork. Your sovereign upgrade, it can be orphaned, stranded, vetoed into irrelevance by a compliance officer. The concentration, right now, ETF custodians control 1.3 million Bitcoin. That is 6.8% of the entire circulating supply. A single company, Coinbase, holds 81% of that. Projections show this concentration reaching 15 to 20% by 2030. At that threshold, their veto power becomes absolute. The precedent. History is not kind to the stranded. The Ethereum DAO fork in 2016 orphaned the original chain, ETC, leaving 16 to 20% of nodes behind. The Bitcoin Cash forks in 2017 and 2018 did the same, isolating 17% of participants. These were voluntary splits. An ETF veto is an involuntary excision. The future, frozen. This is not about price. This is about protocol ossification. Upgrades for privacy, scalability, or post-quantum security can be blocked to satisfy regulatory compliance. The innovative heart of Bitcoin risks being frozen at a 2017 level of technology. We are witnessing the great speciation, a compliant, sanitized BlackRock Bitcoin, and a sovereign, purist, original Bitcoin. Your fungible asset may soon become two. The greatest paradox in financial history is unfolding. The decentralized asset is being centrally captured through its own investment vehicles. The ultimate trade is no longer long or short. It is self-custody versus controlled custodial capture. The clock is ticking. The concentration is growing. That is the red pill. Swallow it. What to watch next? Custody concentration breaching 10%.
Well said.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, I like that she or he or they or whatever they are did that so thoroughly. I mean, we all kind of said that right from the beginning, right? That was the risk of the ETF.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's a big risk?
BlackRock does that to every security on Wall Street that they're on the board of, right? Then they hold the most of the shares. They vote the proxies for all the shareholders. They control. They have not control, but big sway over that company. Why would they not want that over Bitcoin?
Yeah. Well, I mean, someone like Rockstar Dev, he was on my show and he was saying, you know, it's a giant honeypot. You concentrate all this Bitcoin. One day it gets hacked, taken, and it's all unleashed in a way. When it gets rinsed and distributed again, maybe, and decentralized. But I think,
you know, I mean, the only pushback I have against that is that I do believe there's a general awakening of humanity to a decentralized lifestyle. Moving away from you take care of me, daddy, to I'm going to take care of myself because nobody else has got my back. If anybody knows this better than anyone, it's the millennials, right? They just got dumped a pile of shit. So if they're not going to wake up to the fact that they need to be sovereign, they need to be decentralized, then this is the future that we have. And we've given up. But I think many people, starting with Gen X especially, and then going into millennials and our kids, the Gen Zs that are coming up now, they want a decentralized future. They don't trust centralized government control. So I think even though she's accurate and it's well said and it's a relevant threat, I'm hopeful that humanity is moving away from that mindset.
Yeah. The hard forks and the soft forks, that conversation will come up, I think, during the show. I want to read another tweet from Rob Wallace. Since Trump got elected last November and Bitcoin ran from 60K to 100K, Bitcoin has been shaking out the weak and testing the patience of the strong. For months, OGs holding thousands of Bitcoin have been selling, happy to have held until the 100K milestone and convinced we were near the top of the 4-year cycle. Over 5.5 million Bitcoin, about 27.5% of the 19.9 million Bitcoin in circulation.
Wait, how many?
Over 5.5 million Bitcoin, about 27.5%.
That's
of the 19.9
have been sold when?
Have moved.
Oh, moved, not
at least once at prices above 100K.
Okay, moved is different than sold, but
Sure, I
that's
think it's
not the. I mean,
interpreted here as,
when I researched what was sold, it's equivalent to what was being sold in previous cycles. But go on.
these coins are moving out of the hands of individual whales and into the hands of convicted hodlers, institutions, and the wealth they represent. This rotation has helped Bitcoin build one of the strongest bases in history, sitting just a few percentage points from all-time highs while Twitter cries boredom. The bears made one final stand on October 10th, that violent flash crash that wiped out more leverage in a single day than the first 4 months of the year combined. It was the bears' last shot, and they fired it. Yet here we stand at 115,000. Right now, Bitcoin sits in a position that is statistically rare. The largest positioning rinse in crypto's history has collided with a macro Goldilocks backdrop. The Trump Z trade deal framework is finally taking shape after 6 months of tension. Over the weekend in Malaysia, both sides confirmed major progress. Bessent said the agreement would spare China from 100% tariffs, while China's rare earth export ban will be delayed for at least a year, giving the West a crucial window to rebuild supply chains. At the same time, the Fed is preparing to end quantitative tightening while signaling they will cut rates into a market already at all-time highs. Trillions of dollars are still sitting in money market funds waiting to move back into risk. All of it adds up to one thing: the world's biggest markets are turning the corner. The cloud of uncertainty that has hung over Bitcoin all year is finally lifting. And as Asia opened last night, we saw it unfold in real time. Gold is falling, down over 2.5% overnight and 8% since it peaked last Tuesday. Bitcoin is up 6%, and October is officially in the green. The rotation is on, the torch is being passed. When gold toppled in 2020, Bitcoin launched within 2 months, rising more than 400% in the following half year. We could be setting up for a similar story now. Bitcoin is the next man up. This could be the moment the world realizes that the 4-year cycle is a thing of the past. The greatest opportunities in Bitcoin do not come when it is cheap. They come when the last bear gives up and the last skeptic runs out of excuses. This is the setup that only comes around once every 4 years. Bitcoin's time to launch is here.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that was that
know.
convincing, especially with sort of the
I mean,
rocky.
and referring to 2020, that was a totally different setup. I don't, a lot of well said stuff there, but I don't necessarily agree.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Do you think? Do you think markets are or M2 is easing? Is getting more? Is there more liquidity coming into the system? What has been sort of?
It's still. It seems to me like it's still a battle, right? There's, I think there's obviously going to be more liquidity with lower interest rates. I think, if we lose the fear of massive tariffs on these crucial metals and minerals, and I think that'll be a win also. But at the same time, there's a macro backdrop. If you look at, just the overall business cycle, that's getting more and more negative.
Yeah, the
right?
layoffs
and AI's innovation reducing employment or reducing future hiring. So there's a lot of cross currents. I still think there's more upside left in Bitcoin, besides all of that. But I have a hard time seeing this thing go to the 444K or a million or 800 or 750.
But it could go to 70K in the next week too.
Yeah,
I think that's very possible, and that could really blow everyone's minds.
Well,
and then
that
launch
could
from
be
there.
That could be what we need
to just flush out, because it seems like there's still a lot of speculation in the system.
Well, what I was going to say is that you might need some sort of business cycle panic before you get massive liquidity injections.
Yeah,
by the United States, right? So all I know is that the path we're going is much higher Bitcoin and much higher gold. But Bitcoin is going to be far greater performance than gold, just out of the scarcity factor.
Yeah.
And the adoption factor. So if you focus on where we're going and not the path we take to get there, you're going to be fine. And you're going to just take any downturn, any major catastrophes as opportunities to accumulate more.
All right.
That's the
Stay humble and stack sats.
Yeah, man.
Let's fucking go. All right. This is Bitcoin Center number 26, brought to you by Byte Federal. Go bank yourself, point of sale, crypto wallet, and the Bitcoin ATMs. Make sure you buy spot Bitcoin at that Bitcoin ATM and put it in self-custody and stamp your seed phrase. You could use microseed. Go to microseed.io. You could use the code matrix. Let's get into it.